The chosen one. You did not stumble here. You were summoned. Heaven scheduled this moment with your name on it, a holy interruption in ordinary time. I'm speaking to the one who has felt the ground shifting beneath your feet, the calendar of your life trembling with an ache you can't explain. You have outgrown rooms you once begged to enter. You have carried victories that no one clapped for, and wounds that no one saw. And yet something inside you still whispers, there is more. That whisper is not fantasy. It is a dispatch from the throne. It is the cue that a new season is approaching, and it will not negotiate with what cannot travel with you. Hear this with urgency and tenderness before the next season breaks open. There are things heaven is asking you to place on the altar, not to diminish you, but to crown you. Not to rob you, but to ready you. This is not punishment. This is preparation. The Father is not closing his hand around you. He is opening his hand before you. But the gates you are approaching are weight sensitive. They rise for surrender and lower for stubbornness. The next door recognizes release, not resistance. You have felt it in your spirit, the tug of war between promise and habit calling and comfort. You have noticed how familiar patterns suddenly feel too tight, how old ways of thinking leave a taste of dust in your mouth. You have wondered why certain attachments now feel heavy, why timelines you tried to control keep collapsing in your hands. It is because heaven is weaning you from what cannot sustain your acceleration. You are not losing, you are lightening. I am sent to tell you this with clarity. There is a supernatural exchange underway. If you will yield what has secretly claimed your grip, unspoken disappointments, private compromises, sacred cows, you defended. Old labels, you wore like armor. God will put into your empty hands what no striving could manufacture. The future you sensed in fragments is pacing outside your door, but it will not walk in until your heart is uncluttered. Do not be afraid of this word. It arrives soaked in love and charged with promise. The Father's eyes are on you with delight, not suspicion. His voice is not hunting for fault. It is guiding you toward fullness. Think of the seeds you've carried through storms. They are not dead, they are swollen. Think of the prayers you prayed under your breath. They are not ignored, they are maturing. The only thing standing between you and manifestation is what you refuse to release. Lean in, anointed one. In a moment, I will tell you what heaven is specifically asking you to surrender and why the timing is now, not next month, not someday, but now. For when you lay these 7 things down, you will hear the sound of locks clicking open. Micro bridge. Stay close. The source of this message is stepping into the room. I speak now, under the weight of a living presence, chosen one. This word does not rise from opinion or the echo of trends. It comes from the one who formed you in secret and numbered your days before your first breath. The Lord Ancient of Days, Shepherd and King, has leaned near. His voice is steady, not hurried. His eyes are bright with mercy. His hands are extended palms open. He is not calling you to a scavenger hunt of worthiness. He is inviting you into the natural gravity of your assignment. He has watched you navigate rooms that misnamed you, seasons that misread you, and battles that nearly unstitched you. Yet he never recalculated your purpose. He safeguarded it. This message was scheduled on heaven's calendar with precision. When others overlooked you, he hid you. When doors resisted you, he trained you. When silence stretched into long corridors, he filled them with a discipline that will now become your acceleration. The word you hear today emerges from covenant, not convenience, from the same mouth that spoke galaxies into spin and guarded you through nights you did not narrate to anyone. Fear not, he whispers. I am not arriving to take from you. I am arriving to take your hand. Trust this. The Father remembers the exact tone of your midnight prayers. He remembers the sighs you never translated into sentences. He remembers the time you turned away from easy compromise and chose the narrow road even when it cost you affirmation. He remembers the way you stayed when leaving would have been simpler. Those moments were not invisible currency. They were bricks heaven laid beneath the feet of your future. Your new season will not be built on charisma. It will be held together by the integrity you practiced when no one applauded. And because this comes from him, the timing is not random. The clock of your calling has struck, not the loud clanging of human deadlines, but the soft click of divine alignment, where pieces you could not force are finally sliding into place. Surrender is the key that fits that lock. He is not asking you to prove your devotion. He is asking you to protect your destiny. The weight limits of your next door are set by his love. He is unwilling to let you carry excess that will injure your promise on the other side. Let the skepticism that once circled your mind find its quiet. The shepherd who knows your voice is speaking. Yes, he will ask for 7 things. And yes, each release will feel like oxygen returning to a room you forgot to breathe in. But the request is framed by kindness. He is the God who breaks fetters but refuses to break bruised reeds. He lifts, he steadies, he guides. Even now, I sense the tenderness of his correction, firm enough to cut, gentle enough to heal in the same motion. The knife in his hand is a gardener's, not a thief's. He prunes because he has seen the clusters forming in your future. Believe the character of the one who calls. He does not bait with promises and switch to penalties. He does not dangle blessings beyond fragile rope. He prepares the ground, waters the seed, and then invites you to stretch. His instructions are not traps. They are bridges. They will carry you over chasms that swallowed earlier versions of you. Do not measure them by cost. Measure them by the harvest concealed inside them. Steady your heart, beloved. The room has grown quiet because the author has entered. And what he speaks next will clarify why the pressure has increased and why the old patterns grew sharp at the edges. Lean in. The unveiling begins. Micro bridge. Listen for the rustle of the veil. The prophecy is stepping into view. Chosen one. The veil parts. I see a corridor of days rising like a golden spine before you. On your left, fields that fed you in former seasons fade to stubble. On your right, unplanted acres shimmer with rain not yet fallen. Ahead, an arched gate forged of light. It hums with a single condition: lay down what will not pass. The word is this: a swift season of divine exchange is upon you. What once required years will happen in weeks. What demanded force will yield to favor? What circled in delay will snap into place like a door, finding its latch? Rooms that studied you with suspicion will now make room for you. But here the warning speed magnifies weight. If you clutch what heaven asks you to release, acceleration will feel like turbulence instead of lift. I am shown a table with 7 keys, each glowing with assignment, each magnetized to an opposite weight that tries to keep it earthbound. The Spirit says, surrender the weights and the keys will rise to your hand. These are their names. The first weight is the narrative of scarcity, the quiet creed, there will not be enough. Its key unlocks provision that follows obedience like a shadow at noon. The second is the identity of yesterday, the costume stitched by old rooms and old wounds. Its key opens the door of true name where you walk unedited into assignments you once tiptoed around. The third is private bitterness sediment hiding at the bottom of your cup. Its key turns the valve of flow so blessing moves through you without clog or backwash. The fourth is unholy control, the script you keep correcting, the timelines you keep policing. Its key releases Kairos, right place, right time ease. The fifth is secret compromise, small bargains with comfort to avoid the loneliness of consecration. Its key opens authority, and your voice carries heaven's weight even when it is soft. The sixth is anxiety's vigil, the night watch you stood without orders, scanning horizons God already secured. Its key unlocks rested strength, the kind that multiplies while you sleep. The seventh is the fear of joy, the flinch that braces for loss whenever laughter approaches. Its key opens festival harvest, where fruit arrives faster than you can count it. Beloved, the gate ahead reads transfer. I see resources changing hands by providence. Time redeemed, reputation restored, lost opportunities returning in upgraded form. Alliances that are not transactional, but covenantal people, whose names hold doors for you and yours for them. I also see a threshing floor chaff and wheat separating mid-dance. Some ties will sift with tenderness, others will shear like clean steel. Do not call it betrayal when it is graduation. There is a trial braided into this prophecy, brief but bright like lightning unlocking nitrogen into soil. Expect a confrontation with a familiar giant, not to humiliate you, but to archive the chapter. The enemy will test your gate by pressing the weight you used to carry scarcity identity, bitterness, control, compromise, vigilance, dread. Answer with surrender, not strain. Your yielded hands will be the sign you have learned heaven's dialect. From here, doors will not creak, they will swing. You will speak a simple yes and watch complexity kneel. Yet as favor thickens, old gravity will try to reclaim you through nostalgia and noise. Guard your gaze. This is not a theme park, it is a vineyard. Fruit requires fences, oil requires vessels. Let your boundaries prophesy. Hear this, your name has been read aloud in places you have not stood. Heaven trod ahead of you, planting memory of you in minds that do not yet know your face. Invitations will arrive suddenly. Ask the Lord not, is this big? But is this mine? He will answer with peace that fits like clothing tailored in the dark. Expect signs in threes, a phrase repeated by strangers, a number that stalks your attention, a scripture that refuses to leave the room. Expect also an unusual stillness the night before the first door opens a hush before symphony. And when the hinge turns, it will not squeal, it will sing. Do not confuse mercy with hesitation. God is not stalling. He is synchronizing, aligning your inner world to carry the outer favor. The exchange is covenantal. Bring me your weights. I will give you the keys. When the last key settles in your palm, the gate will read your surrender like a fingerprint and rise without negotiation. Take this as summation. You are stepping out of a survival calendar and into an inheritance calendar. Delays are dissolving, detours straightening, debts emotional and otherwise settled in unseen courts. But the passport to this terrain bears 7 stamps, each one inked by what you lay down. Walk forward lightly. The corridor has begun to glow. Microbridge now, we descend beneath the surface into the meaning that moves the seasons. Chosen one. The architecture of this moment is spiritual before it is visible. Surrender is not the tax you pay to enter destiny. It is the blueprint that makes destiny habitable. Think of a lantern trimmed of excess wick so the flame burns clean. Think of a sailboat loosening cargo so the wind can carry it farther. What you release does not reduce your story, it reveals it. The 7 weights are not random inconveniences. They are shadows of 7 misalignments that bend light away from purpose. The 7 keys are corrections that straighten light into a beam. Scarcity bends light by teaching you to hoard. Destiny, however, flows like a river, not a dam. In the kingdom, provision is a covenanted ecosystem. The seed remembers the soil remembers the rain remembers the season, and the season remembers the sower. When you surrender scarcity, you stop arguing with rain. You bless the cloud while the sky still looks blue, and heaven calls that agreement. Your portion finds you because it is trained to your obedience. Yesterday's identity bends light by fossilizing your reflection. The Father does not consult your old mirrors when He calls your name. He speaks to the image He placed in you before time wore calendars. To carry that image, you must release the labels taped to you by fear, by failure, or by fans who only knew a thumbnail of your becoming. Destiny is not an upgrade to your facade. It is the unveiling of your original face. You do not become someone else. You become someone true. Bitterness bends light by clouding the lens of memory. It edits your story into a courtroom where you are always prosecutor, always defendant, never free. Forgiveness is not amnesia. It is the storm drain that clears the street so traffic can move again. Where bitterness recycles injury. Forgiveness recycles mercy. It changes the traffic pattern of your inner city. It opens boulevards that favor can travel without rerouting. The heart that forgives becomes a river mouth, not a stagnant pond. Control bends light by forcing straight lines on landscapes shaped by grace. Divine timing is not a leash around your neck. It is the choreography that keeps you from colliding with blessings not yet ready to hold your weight. The door is not late if it opens when your character can carry it. Lay down control, and you will feel the floor tilt toward Kairos appointments that take less energy because they take less convincing. You will stop pushing boats. You will start raising sails. Compromise bends light by calling shortcuts compassion. Holiness is not the absence of joy. It is the alignment that makes joy sustainable. When you cut corners, the room seems closer, but the ceiling lowers with every shortcut. Consecration is the slow lifting of ceilings until the stars have room to walk. Let your no be a sanctuary for your yes. Let your boundaries become the fences around a vineyard you plan to harvest for years, not the tape around a project you plan to abandon in months. Anxiety bends light by setting watchfires on every hill and then mistaking the smoke for prophecy. Rest is warfare because it declares the night is guarded by another. When you surrender vigilance, you were never assigned. You return the night to its maker. You sleep like a soldier, off duty, still enrolled, still available, but not self-appointed as the universe's only watchman. From that rest springs a strength that multiplies while you do nothing but breathe and trust. The fear of joy bends light by flinching at goodness as if blessing were a trap door. Joy, however, is not fragile glass. It is reinforced steel singing at sunrise. In Scripture, joy is not a luxury, it is a fortress. The joy of the Lord is your strength means gladness is not mood. It is masonry. When you stop bracing for loss, delight can take up residence without packing for emergency evacuation. Your laughter becomes intercession because it agrees with the victory already written. Seasons are the language heaven uses to teach pace. Doors are the punctuation periods, commas, exclamation points. God inserts into your journey to guide breathing. Storms are not nature's tantrums. They are tutors that reveal the integrity of foundations. Light is not merely metaphor, it is measurement. Every instruction you obey increases your lumen count, your ability to illuminate paths for yourself and for others. As your light strengthens, shadows of confusion shorten. You start reading rooms at a glance because you are carrying a calibrated sun. Transformation in the spirit is less like a costume change and more like a tree line shifting with altitude. The higher you climb, the different the trees, the thinner the air, the clearer the view. Surrender is your ascent. Release is your rope. Faith is the warmth in your lungs when the wind sharpens. You do not climb to prove stamina. You climb to see what God has seen from the start. And when sight increases, decisions simplify. Some choices make themselves because the horizon has edited your options. Destiny is not a single door. It is a corridor of agreement. You keep walking because each yes reveals the next doorway. The prophecy did not announce a carnival of miracles detached from your formation. It announced a synchronized unfolding where your inner world and your outer world stop arguing. That consonance is holiness in motion. You will feel it when conversations no longer require performance, when opportunities match your true appetite, when the room fits like a garment tailored in silence. This is why the 7 keys rise only when the weights drop. Keys represent authority, not access alone. You are not just entering rooms, you are inheriting responsibility for the climate inside them. Authority without surrender tips into spectacle. Authority with surrender settles into stewardship. You will speak less and say more. You will move slower and cross more ground. You will build altars in places where others built platforms, and the fire will answer without you gesturing at the sky. Divine timing is both mercy and mathematics. God does not simply move soon, He moves fitted. He aligns people, places, and provisions like constellations that only form the promised figure when seen from a particular angle at a particular hour. Your obedience turns the telescope in your hands. The image resolves. The myth becomes a map. You stop wishing on stars and start navigating by them. Finally, mark this into your bones. Surrender is not the end of desire. It is the end of distortion. What you want on the far side of release is what you truly wanted all along: peace that does not bargain with panic influence, that does not flirt with idolatry, abundance that does not drown your soul. You are not forfeiting color. You are shedding static so the colors sing. You are not entering a gray monastery. You are entering a bright country where love is weighty, truth is gentle, and glory is breathable air. And as your inner climate warms to this reality, the outer climate will answer. Creation loves congruence. Doors prefer those who travel light. Winds prefer sails over engines. Rivers prefer banks that welcome them rather than barricade them. When heaven finds you yielded, history finds you useful. Microbridge. Now let the signs gather, small, bright echoes that you are on the appointed path. Chosen one. When heaven aligns a path, earth leaves breadcrumbs. Watch for these confirmations, not to replace faith, but to steady it. They will arrive like gentle taps on the shoulder, personal yet universal, precise yet tender. First, the echoed phrase. A sentence will pursue you across unrelated spaces, on a billboard, in a song, in a stranger's testimony, perhaps in a quiet line from Scripture. It will repeat with a patient smile until your heart admits, "This is for me." Often, it will carry language about release, alignment, or new names. Do not dismiss it as coincidence. Echo is how God trains your ear to His cadence. Second, the triple knot. Patterns will loop in threes, a name you haven't heard in years, a place you hadn't considered, a number that keeps arriving on receipts and clocks. 3 is heaven's shorthand for established. When the knot appears, pause and pray. Is this mine? If peace answers, like warm light in your chest, step toward it, even if the step feels small. Third, the door without drama. Opportunities will begin to open quietly. No spectacle, no wrestling. What once required pleading will now require simple yes. Favor will feel like a door that recognizes your fingerprints. You will enter rooms already adjusted to your height, conversations already tuned to your key. This ease is not accident. It is Kairos, making space. Fourth, the cleared air. You will sense a hush within, as if interior dust has settled. The old urgency that pushed you into premature yes will lose its grip. You will breathe differently, deeper, slower, truer. This is not passivity. It is holy composure. It arrives when anxiety's vigil is surrendered, and rested strength takes the watch. Fifth, the soft severing. Relationships that once required constant patching will end without scandal. Not a storm, just a shoreline. Words like thank you, I bless you. And go in peace will close doors with clean hinges. Do not chase what grace has clasped. Separation without venom is a sign that wheat and chaff have finished their dance. Sixth, the provision in seed form. Answers will arrive small: a contact, a code, a first payment, a pilot opportunity. Scarcity shouts, too little. Covenant whispers, right on time. When you plant these smallnesses with gratitude, you will witness multiplied harvest. God loves to tutor trust by sending beginnings that look like whispers. Seventh, the right weight. You will notice your no growing as strong as your yes. Boundaries will settle around your calling like a well-fitted frame around art. Invitations that once flattered now feel misaligned, and you will decline without guilt. This is identity maturing yesterday's costume, slipping off your shoulders while your true name sits steady on your bones. Do not demand all signs at once. Heaven is not a vending machine. One or two may be enough to affirm the path, and some will arrive in order matching the very weights you surrendered. A phrase that unties scarcity, a door that humbles control, a boundary that silences compromise, a laugh that disarms the fear of joy. Remember also the timestamp of peace. When the Holy Spirit speaks, peace lands with specificity. It does not erase reverent trembling, but it settles panic. You will feel like someone turned the lights on inside your chest. When that light comes, move. Delay can sour manna. If resistance rises, test it. Not all pushback is the devil. Sometimes it is the gym where your new authority stretches. But if the resistance is confusion, heaviness, or frantic bargaining, step back and re-listen. The shepherd does not drive with fear. He leads with clarity. Lift your eyes. The signs are already circling. Keep a small journal. Write what repeats. Bless what opens. Release what closes. You are being escorted, not auditioned. Micro bridge. Before fulfillment, the path narrows. Let me show you the hidden tests that prove your readiness. Chosen one. Before. Increase. Close your days, the path will narrow. Not as punishment, but as proof measurements confirming that what you carry fits the door you are approaching. Expect these challenges to arrive without fanfare, modest in appearance, exact in purpose. There will be the test of delay after yes. You will surrender what heaven asked, and a brief stillness will follow, like the hush between lightning and thunder. Your mind may rush to reclaim control, to fill the silence with plans. Resist. This pause is not emptiness. It is calibration. The Father lets peace seed itself deeply, so that favor has somewhere solid to land. There will be the test of familiar invitations. Old rooms will call with new paint. You will be offered roles that flatter the version of you that used to survive. They will seem urgent, generous, even godly, yet they ask for the very weights you laid down. Discern by atmosphere, not applause. If entering requires you to shrink, the door is too small for who you are now. There will be the test of quiet misunderstanding. People who only knew your previous pace may interpret your boundaries as pride, your focus as withdrawal, your rest as laziness. Answer with consistent fruit, not frantic explanations. Harvest clarifies what arguments cannot. Love them cleanly. Do not reapply labels you just surrendered to prove softness. There will be the test of the unfinished thread. A memory will tug a regret, a phrase a face, and try to convince you that closure can only come by reopening what grace has sealed. Closure, however, is not a conversation. It is obedience. If you have blessed, released, and obeyed, the rest belongs to the Lord. Do not return to the scene of your healing to audition for pain. There will be the test of provision, impartial. A first payment will arrive that does not solve the whole need, a connection that does not cover the entire plan. Scarcity will whisper, "See not enough." Covenant will answer, "This is seed. Plant the portion." Gratitude waters it faster than panic ever could. Remember, rivers begin as springs. There will be the test of sudden noise. As doors open, lesser doors will clang for attention. Notifications multiply. Options sprawl. Opinions crowd. Noise is a thief that wears the mask of opportunity. Guard mornings and thresholds. Enter the day slowly enough to hear your name pronounced by God before anyone else attempts to rename you. There will be the test of joy without permission. You will feel gladness rising for no practical reason. The old reflex will brace suspicious of good news. Do not interrogate the gift. Let laughter settle into your bones like architecture. Joy is not dessert after obedience. It is strength during it. Build with it. Sing while laying bricks. None of these are traps. Each is a classroom. God does not grade you with shame. He tutors you with presence. If you stumble, you will notice how quickly mercy reaches for your hand. If you hesitate, you will feel the shepherd's nudge firm enough to move you, gentle enough to preserve your dignity. The point is not perfection. The point is formation. You are learning to carry wind without spilling oil, to host favor without leaking character. When resistance appears, do not measure your progress by how loud the wind sounds. Measure by your interior weather. If peace remains, you are anchored. If panic spikes, pause, bless the moment, and ask, which key am I trying to use while still clutching the weight? Then release again. Surrender is not a single gesture. It is a rhythm. Breathe in, trust. Breathe out, control. Lift your chin. Even tests wear a clock. They are brief sharpenings, not endless corridors. Walk them with a steady step and a soft heart. Every challenge is secretly handing you your measurements for the gate ahead, microbridge, because love is practical. Heaven now hands you clear steps. Holy choreography for your next move. Chosen one. Before fulfillment unfurls like dawn, the path will narrow. This narrowing is not punishment, it is precision. The same gate that recognizes surrender will also test it, not to shame you, but to seal you. So what opens will not crush what it blesses. The first hidden challenge is the echo of old hunger. After you release scarcity, an unexpected lean day may arrive. Not disaster, just a whispering gap where invoices lag or affirmation runs thin. The test is simple. Will you reach for old hoarding reflexes, or will you bless the cloud before it forms? Stand still. Say, my portion is covenant, not coincidence. Watch how peace multiplies what math cannot. The second is the mirror that lies. As your true name rises, an old label will attempt a comeback through a familiar comment, a misread message, or a memory replaying in too bright color. The test: will you bow to a costume you outgrew to make others comfortable, or will you remain measured by the Father's voice alone? Answer with posture, not anger. Keep your shoulders level, your speech gentle, your spine sure. The third is the thorn of remembered wounds. Just when forgiveness begins to flow, a fresh irritation will scratch the scar. You'll be tempted to rehearse the old court case. The test is not to forget, it is to refuse to prosecute. Bless without theater. Choose mercy without issuing a press release. That quiet yes will widen your inner river. The fourth is the clock with no hands. Control hates ambiguity, and God will cue a stretch of unlabeled hours, neither delay nor sprint, just holy tempo. The test: can you keep pace with the Spirit when you cannot pace the room? Pray short prayers. Work the next faithful step. Let Kairos meet you while you labor, not while you scroll for omens. The fifth is the cup with sugar at the bottom. After you renounce small compromises, a soft, reasonable shortcut will smile at you. Just this once. It will look pastoral, even prudent. The test: will you trade long harvests for quick applause? Remember ceilings lower when corners are cut. Walk the long way on purpose. It stretches your capacity for inherited rooms. The sixth is the watchtower without orders. Anxiety will knock with noble language. Be diligent. Be vigilant. Stay ahead. But the Spirit will answer. Rest is today's warfare. The test is to leave some emails until morning, to close the tab of trouble you cannot fix at midnight, to let God prove that growth can happen while you sleep. The seventh is the celebration that scares you. Joy will approach with open hands, and your reflex may be to flinch to brace for the other shoe. The test: can you practice unguarded gratitude? Say thank you without apology. Laugh without scanning exits. Joy is not a trap. It is a fortress being built in your chest. All these challenges are tutors. They are not traps to make you fail, but instruments to tune your soul. Each time you choose faith over reflex, your atmosphere changes. You feel it: air clears, edges soften, focus sharpens. Your yes acquires weight, your no acquires kindness, and your steps leave prints that others can trust. Do not dramatize the tests. Name them bless, the lesson, keep moving. Keep a lean rhythm. Word before work. Presence before plans. Obedience before optics. When fatigue whispers, sit with the shepherd until your breathing copies his. When confusion fogs, do the last clear instruction and wait for the next light to appear. Hear the promise. These are short pop quizzes, not endless exams. Heaven will not keep you looping lessons you have learned. Pass quietly, and the corridor brightens. Fail. Grace will reteach without humiliation. Either way, you will not be disqualified. You will be refined. Lift your chin. You are not navigating alone. Angels mark the turns. Favor guards the flanks. Mercy covers the rear. The tests confirm what surrender began. You are safe to accelerate. Micro bridge. With the path proven. Here now the instructions that turn keys in living doors. Chosen one. Because the gate recognizes surrender. Walk these instructions like a consecrated path. They are not burdens, they are levers. Each one moves weight without strain and turns unseen hinges in your favor. First, build an altar of time. For the next 40 days, begin your day with 15 minutes of unhurried scripture and silence before any screen. Not performance presence. Read aloud a psalm, a proverb, and one gospel paragraph. Then sit still. Whisper, "Speak, Lord. Your servant is listening." Write the first clean sentence that lands. This habit does not earn God's voice. It attunes your ear to it. Second, sanctify your yes and no. Carry a small card in your pocket or notes app with 2 questions. Is this mine? And does this keep me light? Before accepting any new commitment, answer both. If either is no, bless the opportunity and let it pass. This is not rudeness. It is priesthood over your energy. Your borders are part of your anointing. Third, practice seed-first generosity. Scarcity breaks when you give before you feel full. Choose a percentage or a schedule, weekly, bi-weekly, or when funds land, and set it aside immediately for kingdom work and quiet kindness. Do some of it secretly. Heaven measures the hidden. Money is not your master, it is your messenger. Send it where you want your heart to follow. Fourth, clear the reservoir. Write 1 page of honest confession resentments you've kept corners, you've cut props, you've leaned on, name them without poetry. Then speak forgiveness out loud. I release them. I release me. If safe and appropriate, apologize or amend where you can. If not, bless from a distance and surrender the rest to God's court. Your heart is not a storage unit, it is a river mouth. Fifth, schedule. Holy rest. Choose 1 evening each week where work ends early. No emails, no fixing. Light a candle. Take an unhurried walk. Eat slowly. Laugh on purpose. Thank God out loud for 5 specific things from the last 7 days. Rest is not the reward for finishing. It is the rhythm that keeps you from fraying. You will do more with less panic when you honor this cadence. Sixth, adopt the long way on purpose. When shortcuts smile, answer with integrity. Document processes. Deliver before deadlines. Put quality where no one is looking. Do not inflate shade or sell what you cannot serve. The Lord is building rooms you will live in for years. Refuse paint that peels in the first heat. Longevity is holy. Seventh, return the night watch. Pick a nightly cutoff where you place tomorrow into God's hands, literally palms up. Pray. I resign from jobs you did not assign. Lay your burdens on the dresser with your phone. If anxiety wakes you, practice breath prayer. Inhale, you are here. Exhale, I am safe. Sleep is permission to let the guardian be God. Eighth, rehearse joy. Each morning, smile at the future on purpose. Name 3 anticipations aloud. Joy is not delusion, it is agreement with victory. Listen to one song that lifts your faith and let your face participate. The body teaches the soul. You are not bracing for the other shoe. You are breaking the cycle of dread. Ninth, consecrate your speech. Fast from complaint for 7 days. If you must name a problem, pair it immediately with action or intercession. Replace, I'm overwhelmed with, I'm learning pace. Replace, nothing is working with, something is forming. Your tongue is the steering wheel of your atmosphere. Turn gently, but firmly. 10th, steward divine connections. Make a humble list of 5 people who carry grace you need and 5 who need what you carry. Pray for them by name. Send one honest encouragement each day, no strategy, no networking mask. Covenant travels on sincerity. Heaven will braid your names together at right angles you could not have planned. 11th, order your house. Clutter fights clarity. Choose one drawer, one app folder, one corner each day to cleanse. Delete distracting subscriptions. Organize tools you actually use. Give away what is perfectly good, but no longer yours to steward. The Spirit loves prepared spaces. 12th, build a rule of 3. Each workday, choose 3 important tasks, no more to honor from start to finish. Protect them with boundaries. Let lesser tasks orbit. Finish today's obedience, and let tomorrow's manna arrive tomorrow. 13th, set a monthly fast of alignment. Skip 1 meal a day for 3 days, or choose one media you will abstain from entirely for a week. Use that space for prayer and scripture. Fasting is not starvation. It is recalibration. It sharpens the edge of your yes. 14th, anoint your thresholds. Pray over your door's home office inbox. Let only what serves your purpose cross. If you can place a tiny drop of oil on the frame as a sign to your own heart. You are not superstitious. You are symbolic. Your life is a temple, and temples have gates. 15th, craft an intercession map. Draw circles for your family calling city and the nations on your heart. Write 2 scriptures in each circle. When distraction floods, put a finger on a circle and read the verse aloud. Pray short, specific prayers. Let intercession become muscular and simple. 16th, keep an obedience log. Each day, note 1 small step taken because you sensed the Lord's nudge. Review weekly. Patterns will emerge. Confidence grows where memory is stewarded. 17th, practice the 2-minute reconciliation. If tension sparks with someone you're called to walk with, address it quickly and quietly. I value you. Did I miss something? Keep the air clear. Authority travels best in clean atmospheres. 18th, bless closed doors. When something ends, say out loud, I bless the boundary. Then ask 3 questions. What did this teach me? What do I return to God? What do I carry forward? This closes spiritual loops and frees emotional credit. 19th, prepare a readiness kit. Keep your essentials in order. Documents updated, tools maintained, a short bio, and photo-ready key reels or samples polished a single-page vision of what you are building. Favor often arrives fast. Be found ready, not scrambling. 20th, submit everything to communal wisdom. Bring your large choices to 1 or 2 mature believers who love you enough to disagree. Honor counsel without surrendering agency. Shared discernment is a guardrail, not a cage. Walk these steps with urgency, not panic. Heaven's pace is brisk but kind. Do not attempt all at once. Choose 7 to begin this week, 7 the next. As you move, you will feel the floor tilt toward ease, the corridor brighten, and the keys rise toward your hands. Microbridge. As you obey, feel the circle tighten, protection gathering like a mantle around your shoulders. Chosen one. As you walk the path of obedience, feel the mantle of protection settling over you, weighty, warm, and sure. Heaven has not sent you into acceleration without armor. The God who called you goes before you as a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day, adjusting the climate of your journey so you can breathe, build, and become. You are not stepping into open terrain alone. You are moving inside a guarded corridor and escorted lane where mercy rides the front and goodness watches the rear. See it, a ring of light traveling with you. Wherever you pause to rest, the ring widens into a camp. When you rise, it narrows into a path. Angels stand at the thresholds you anointed, attending their posts without fuss or spectacle. Their presence will rarely demand attention. It will simply be a felt ease, a steadying hand at the small of your back when you might otherwise wobble. The Lord Himself is your shield, not merely shielding you from blows, but shaping the blows that do land into tutors that cannot wound your core. What the enemy aimed to scatter you now serves to center you. What was designed to break your pace now protects your stride. You will notice protection in quiet reroutes. A meeting reschedules, and you later learn you were spared a snaresome alliance. A no, you blessed, becomes the space where a better yes arrives. Deadlines you feared missing reveal themselves as false emergencies when the true timing shows up, touched by peace. This is not luck. It is lordship. The shepherd is managing your horizons, trimming edges you cannot see, turning would-be crises into footnotes. Protection also comes as holy limits. Boundaries are not fences against love. They are fences for love, ensuring that what matters can grow without trampling. When the Spirit says, "Not this room," it is not rejection. It is preservation of appetite. When He whispers, "Not that tone," it is not control. It is cultivation of authority. Yield to these gentle guardrails and watch how your energy multiplies and your clarity hums. Feel, too, the protection of belonging. You are being braided into a net of relationships that will hold weight with you. Covenant friendships will sense storms before you name them. They will pray you through nights you don't describe and celebrate doors you enter without asking to be your door. Their counsel will be firm without being cruel, tender without being timid. Heaven places you in families, not franchises. You will know the difference because rest blooms where you are truly placed. Provision itself will guard you. As you practice seed-first generosity, resources will answer like obedient soldiers arriving on time in right measure, with instructions pinned to their collar. Your needs will be met in ways that train your trust rather than fray it. You will grow comfortable with a God who fills your jar without making you chase faucets. Scarcity's old flinch will quiet under the steady rhythm of just enough becomes more than enough at the right hour. Do not misread the silence between instructions. In those pauses, protection is often busiest. Soil settles around the roots. Glue cures. Mortar sets. The absence of noise is not abandonment. It is God letting your upgrades bond. Rest in the hush. Breathe. Let the fortress of joy rise brick by brick in your chest until laughter becomes your automatic answer to rumors of doom. And when warfare does appear, do not panic. Your armor is fitted truth. Around your core righteousness, guarding your heart, peace lacing your steps, faith raising a roof against flaming accusation, salvation, crowning your mind, the word in your hand as both bread and blade. You will not need to swing wildly. A single, quiet, "It is written," will often collapse what anxiety tried to inflate. You will feel strength returning while you stand still. You are not fragile cargo. You are treasured royalty moving under escort. The king's banner over you is love. And love is more than sentiment. It is jurisdiction. It declares, "This one is mine," and creation cooperates. Micro bridge. Now lift your eyes beyond the guardrails. Behold the change already forming, the transformation that meets you at the gate. Chosen. 1. Feel the change like sunrise touching closed eyelids, gentle, undeniable, unstoppable. What protection has been building around you now becomes the atmosphere within you. You are not merely safer, you are different. The old reflexes that once claimed your first response begin to arrive late, like guests who miss the address. In their place, a grounded joy rises, a peace with muscle in it, a clarity that doesn't shout to be believed. You are wearing light on purpose. Watch how fulfillment introduces itself without applause. A conversation that would have drained you now flows like a clean stream. An assignment that once felt oversized settles onto your shoulders like a coat tailored in secret. The no you learned to bless becomes a corridor guiding you into the yes that already had your name written inside. Outcomes begin to match intent. Fruit appears where you planted with tears. The field answers your footsteps because you walk it with softened souls. The 7 keys do their work. Provision no longer negotiates with panic. It travels the lanes you cleared with generosity and trust. Your true name, no longer rehearsed, becomes your resting face. You enter rooms without shrinking or swelling, and the room recalibrates to truth. Forgiveness, no longer a project, becomes a river mouth in your chest. People drink from your presence without knowing why they are less thirsty. Kairos multiplies, emails arrive on the hour you prayed. Introductions happen at crosswalks. A detour becomes the avenue. Authority settles no thunder, just weather that changes because you spoke. Rest strengthens while you sleep, and you wake mid-solution. Joy builds scaffolding inside your ribcage until laughter can carry weight without collapsing. Doors begin to behave like living things. They sense your approach and swing open before your hand reaches the handle. You do not rush them. You also do not ask their permission to be what God has said. Invitations feel different. You no longer measure them by size, but by assignment. Some platforms glow, but are not your soil. You bless them and keep walking. Other spaces look small, yet hum with covenant. You kneel there, plant deeply, and in time, whole orchards appear where only a patch of ground was offered. Relationships transform with you. Covenant friends surface like stones in a river steady enough to stand on. You are surprised by who cheers loudest and who slips away without malice. Gratitude replaces grievance. You stop narrating departures as losses and start reading them as pruning. The circle tightens and strengthens. Counsel lands easier. Correction feels like polish, not sandpaper. You carry people in prayer without caring their outcomes, and the freedom in that boundary increases your capacity to love. Work becomes worship again. Excellence isn't a performance. It's alignment expressed in detail. You return emails with grace. You prepare rooms as though the king will enter because he does. You tell the truth at full strength with gentleness that does not dilute it. You design systems that serve people, not the other way around. You are not trying to be impressive. You are becoming inevitable, faithful enough long enough that favor recognizes a home. Fulfillment alters your time sense. You feel late to nothing and early to nothing. You feel placed. You stop chasing the horizon and start walking with it. The timeline you tried to micromanage now hums like a well-tuned instrument in your hands. You play the measure you're in. The next measure joins you right on cue. Even waiting changes color. It no longer tastes like absence, but like marinating flavors, deepening strength, soaking into quieter fibers. And the heart, oh, the heart becomes a citrus grove after rain. Gratitude drips from branches. Memory is healed enough to tell the truth without trembling. You bless the roads that were hard because they taught you stride. You kiss the forehead of your younger self and say, "We made it," and you mean it. This tenderness becomes a mantle for others. People borrow your peace the way travelers warm their hands at a friendly fire. Do not expect trumpets. Expect traction. Do not expect spectacle. Expect stewardship. The miracle shows up as longevity days stacked in obedience until roofs become ceilings. Ceilings become skies, and skies open without thunder. Fulfillment is not an end. It is a flow. You are standing in it now, ankle deep and rising. Keep your palms open. Keep your gaze clean. Keep your pace human and your hope supernatural. Let the old calendar fall from the wall. A new one has been written inside your ribs. Micro bridge. Hold this posture. Now receive the seal words to carry blessing, to anchor, faith to finalize. Chosen one. Stand still for a breath and let this peace settle like morning light on water. You have stepped into a truer rhythm. Hands open heart, steady gaze clear. What is in front of you will not outrun you, and what is behind you will not reclaim you. You are walking with the wind, now covered by a presence that wastes nothing and multiplies everything surrendered. Let these words enter your bones, not as wishes, but as witness. Speak them softly at first, then with the voice of someone who knows their name has already been read in the courts of heaven. Let them become the cadence of your steps, the metronome of your days, the anchor line that keeps you from drifting when weather shifts without warning. Repeat these. I am light enough to rise. I am named, not negotiated. I am guarded by peace and guided by purpose. I am moving in God's timing and nothing good is late. Let the echo continue. I forgive quickly. I bless freely. I harvest joyfully. Provision follows obedience. Authority follows surrender. Rest follows trust. Doors open for me that fit my true name. The future meets me prepared, not panicked. Now lift your hands, palms open, shoulders easy, and receive this blessing. In the name of the Father, who numbered your days with delight, the Son who walked your road and crowned it with victory, and the Spirit who breathes pace into your lungs, I bless your going out and your coming in. I bless your mornings with clarity and your evenings with calm. I bless your thresholds, homework, and heart that only what serves destiny may enter, and only what glorifies God may remain. I bless your resources to arrive with instruction and your opportunities to align without anxiety. I bless your conversations to carry healing and your silence to carry weight. I bless your feet to find prepared paths and your hands to finish what grace begins. I bless your sleep to repair your laughter, to protect your tears, to water harvests you will soon gather with singing. May every echo of scarcity lose its voice around you. May old labels fall like husks. May bitterness dissolve into clear rivers. May control release its grip, compromise lose its charm. Vigilance lay down its false duty, and fear of joy bow to the fortress of delight being built within you. Let the ring of protection travel with you, widening when you rest and narrowing when you run. Let angels keep faithful watch. Let favor recognize you from afar, and peace greet you at every door. Go now in holy confidence. Walk the long way that turns short beneath your faithful steps. Keep your words clean and your boundaries kind. Harvest with gratitude, plant with courage, rest without apology. The blessing has landed. The seal is set. The way is open.